it. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Right now it is blank.
Still blank?
Yeah. Yeah, it's visible now.
It's visible now? Okay, so that's the line. Remember, I'm in Calcutta, but then there's Parveen is going to say, I'm in Singapore and I can share my screen a lot faster. So, impromptu excuses. So Toastmaster Akshay, choose a number from 1 to 5 or 2 to 6 rather, 2 to 6.
Number 4.
Number 4. So just to iterate, you'll be seeing an image. It doesn't matter if you know those images, if you know the personalities, you have to just relate an anecdote, but ensure you add that image into your story. Number 4, here goes. Again, it'll take a while. When you see the image, give me a thumbs up at that.
Yes, I can see the images.
You can see the image?
Yeah.
I'll count to 5 before I hand the stage to you. 1, 2, 3. Over to you, Toastmaster Akshay.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends. It is the time we are going to an adventure. Adventure with 3 of my brothers, whom you just saw a couple of whiles ago, dressed in the attire as if they are going to go on a war, is what I could see. Although you might find it quite comical, how the story unfolds, because I definitely don't know about them. So these 3 of my friends, whose picture you just saw, they had shared once that they wanted to go on a war, and they had no idea about how to fight a war. All they knew was the power of words, which they were very well versed with. So they decided that we will use our words to win this war. They went ahead, and there was another group opposite to them, and they started to fire different words from this side and the other side. This kept on going. This wordplay was in a different formats. First, the wordplay was very serious. The intensity of the words being shared or fired at each other gave me a very serious expression that what it is going to happen. I was too much confused as to, are they fighting a war or are they being serious? Soon they transitioned into a bit of humor. They started sharing humorous words at each other, started to pull each other's leg, and even share jokes on themselves. And I was wondering whether they are fighting with each other or they are giving me an amused play, which is going from serious to humor. And soon it started to go towards the words which were shared in the form of poetry. Yes, they started to sang words, sang about the different scenarios. And this is how these 3 characters who invited me to this particular war to be a judge to decide which side will win were giving me different expressions or different emotions by using their words, which was from humorous, serious, and to poetic way. Hope you found my story or my recollection to be a bit comical. But if not, then this is the best try I could give. Back to Toastmaster Krish.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Akshay. So I thought as soon as you would see this, you will see 3 people pointing in different directions, and this will bring some adventure of yours into memory from your memory where you were talking with friends about planning something. And of course, who hasn't planned a trip to Goa, which didn't materialize, right? So that's how it was when I first saw this. But for you to pull out those wonderful anecdotes and come up with something hilarious using this, hats off to you. Thank you for that. With that, I would like to call on Harish.
Also check the feedback of members on the table topics.
Correct.
30 seconds feedback.
Yes, I would like to call on Toastmaster Harish Hitesh, sorry, Toastmaster Hitesh, to give the feedback for our speaker, Toastmaster Akshay. Toastmaster Hitesh, are you there?
I'm sorry, but I won't be able to.
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
so sorry for that.
No problem. So that brings me to Toastmaster Nirmala. How about you?
Sure, I will give the feedback. Yes, Toastmaster Akshay, I like the fact that you did not talk about the Three Stooges. This particular image was from the Three Stooges, but you went on to create a story about your friends. I like that part, and the way you put it across also was very seamless. You put it across very seamlessly. But what I would have liked better was if I would have wanted you to be part of the trio. So when you would have, if you would have been part of the trio, it would not have been more like a narration. It would be more like an adventure, because you were there with them doing things, and you're experiencing all these things. So this is the one feedback that I would like to give you. It would have made the speech even more meaningful and good to listen to. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nirmala. You do realize that makes you volunteer number 2.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So apart from this slide, do you choose 1, 2, 4, and 5?
5.
5, fantastic. Let me know as soon as you see it. Remember, I'm from Calcutta. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
I'm counting to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stage is all yours, Toastmaster Nirmala.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krish. Comedy is something that is a very internal part of our lives, and anything that we see, especially characters that makes us which brings a smile to our faces, that means they add that much value and that many years to our lives, even if it means in seconds. So this is something when and just looking at their faces, I sometimes wonder how they bring such kind of expressions, and just looking at them will make us smile. So you have three donkeys. Sorry about the word. I'm not a, but 3 donkeys and an additional a very smart person in their midst. So you understand what I'm trying to say. So our 3 donkeys, they don't know what to do, and the real donkey is waiting patiently, saying that, oh, how come I have come in the midst of such idiots? So this is something that this is how they create comedy, and when I look at it, it brings a smile to my face, and of course, what they look very perplexed, as in they are scratching their heads, one looking in the other side, one looking in front, one looking at the, and the donkey is waiting patiently for them to take action. Just like sometimes what we do in life, we don't know where to go. We are scratching our heads and wondering what to do. And the answer is all there for us. It's just that you have to focus, be in the present, and there you get your answer. But we never do it. We rarely do it. We prefer to get into something just like our 3 friends, the wise guys. We do the same sometimes in life, that we don't sit to think, we don't sit to analyze and move forward in life. We are stuck, and it needs some prodding and pushing from maybe some wise men, some wise, whatever we listen to make us move further. And sometimes a wise person can be us also, no doubt about it. I won't pull ourselves down. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Krish.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nirmala, for that wonderful take. To share an evaluation about how you spoke, I would like to call on our lead coach, Toastmaster Sapna.
Thank you so much for that. I think I love the fact that Nirmala made the donkey as the main character, and the other 3 is as some people with no minds and brains. I really love the entire change of the story, Nirmala. So thank you so much. Animals are much more intelligent, by the way, than than the humans are. And what I really felt could have been done better was it was a pretty fragmented story. I think you were looking at it, and trust me, it's not easy to actually look at the picture and try and incorporate it into a speech. You did try your level best. You did give a message at the end, but I think it was a pretty fragmented story. And maybe you could have weaved it into a story wherein, you see these three people, it's the way wherein they have one donkey, and probably on the way they were listening to so many opinions as to one is sitting and who is not sitting on the donkey, and that's why they are walking with the donkey now. So I think that story could have been woven, but I mean, I think the best thing was that you made donkey as the most important character, so I loved it. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that evaluation, Toastmaster Sapna. Before you get started on your attempt, Toastmaster Hitesh, God bless you. And we will be evaluating Toastmaster Sapna. Right? So listen attentively.
Okay.
Got it. Toastmaster Sapna, other than 3 and 5, which would you want?
I'll go with 1.
1? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Here you go. Coming all the way from Calcutta. Let me know when you see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stage is yours.
So I still remember the party 2 years back that I went with my team members, and 3 of them were guys who had just come from a very small village, and they had never tasted wine at all. And that was the first time that we ordered wine out there. Going to a big four, you always have that privilege of spending so much of money when you go out for parties and spending it on liquor, right? So we ordered the most expensive wine which was available in the restaurant at that point of time. And when we pour it initially, these guys didn't understand why, because it was a darker room and all, and they thought that it's some thumbs up or it's a Coke. And when they drank it, they asked the question, what is this? And that is why you see those 3 expressions, and we loved clicking the pictures at that point of time. And they didn't like the taste because obviously it's a little sour and then it's a little sweet, right? And little did we realize that they gulped it all down because they thought that maybe it's some kind of a new soft drink that has come into the market. And after that, the moment they were actually down 2 to 3 glasses of wine, each one of them, they started acting weird. It just felt that they were high on something which we couldn't understand. But we just felt that the right time for us was to call an Uber cab, put them into the Uber cab and give them the address so that they can be dropped home safe. For a very simple reason, we don't want people drinking and driving, even though they had come on their tricycle during that time. But we wanted to be sure that we actually get them an Uber, and they went back home, and then they reached office. We were all there next day, but they all came after 1 week. And when we asked, where were you guys lost? They didn't have an answer. They just said that they actually found themselves on a hospital bed the very next day instead of their homes, and they were trying to find each other. So we really don't know what happened because they don't remember. So I think this is what alcohol does to you, right? When you get drunk, you just forget, and then the only thing is in between, whosoever you met probably might remember you, but you won't remember, and the rest of us are still trying to identify the story. So back to you, table topics master.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a wonderful tall tale. Very, very nice. I loved it. With that, I would like to call upon our evaluator.
Just one, sorry to interrupt here. Just wanted to do a quick time check. I know we started 10 minutes late. We are already 5 minutes late since the time we have started. Wanted to take timer's view. Are we okay to extend it for another 5 minutes?
I think that's fine. Let us take one more topic at least.
All right. I'll close with
Thank you.
Hitesh. Thank you. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Hitesh, over to you for the evaluation of Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, table topic master. I mean, I am not at all eligible because I don't have that experience, but it is a privilege. It is a privilege to evaluate this speech. So, Toastmaster Sapna had this cold opening line where she said something about wine. And we never expected that where this story would go. But then next moment, she actually set the scene. And she gave the context that it was a scene from Big Four company. And this is how happens usually in a Big Four company when they join in evening, the party happens. but a story proceeded. Um, uh, uh, so I guess she was stretching a little. She was about to figure out that what I should say next. So the conclusion was not up to the mark. That's what I feel, at least, because what I would have added in the story was like, after one getting drunk, puking happens, boss bleaching happens, you talk stuff and stuff like that. So she should have shown the guts to talk about those stuff. I myself very open, I mean, very weird person, so I talk about those stuff myself. But anyway, it was a wonderful story. I really liked it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hitesh. And you are our final table topic speaker. Choose between 2 and 4.
All right, 2.
2. Here's your screen. Let me know when you can see it.
I can see.
I'll count till 5 before I hand the stage to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stage is all yours, Toastmaster Hitesh.
I wonder what the hell Einstein is doing in the middle. I mean, he is supposed to do some serious stuff, and he seems to be on the stage doing some theater. But let me tell you, people, the scene that you saw was not a theater scene. It was an archaeological site. These were 3 great archaeologists which were investigating a very old site. Now, I have a problem with archaeologists because why the hell they are paid so much? I mean, all they do is make some prediction that this would have been like that. This is how they might have been living and stuff like that. But do you remember the expression on all those three people? It seemed that they entered in that site and they saw the potty of a dog, that to a fresh potty. I mean, and they might have smelled weird. I'm so sorry for using the toilet humor, but that's how they are expressing themselves. But man, you have got the one job to do, and that is to investigate the site. You are not allowed to make those expressions. I mean, you are paying well enough. You are paid well enough to, go through those experience, different ideas and those senses. So I mean, they got to do a better job. I mean, they cannot afford to be disappointed at the given job. Thank you so much. Back to you, table topic now.
Thank you very much. To evaluate you, Toastmaster Hitesh, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Girija.
Thank you. It was wonderful that he could capture the essence of Einstein. And he said, what is Einstein doing here? Supposed to be a very serious person. And where is it sense of humor? How could he bring a sense of humor here? How could he come in here? That probability and impossibility becoming a probability, that probably could have been twisted a little more, that even a scientist has the possibility, has to be at times comical. And probably that is what extends his horizon. And that makes him a different thinker. The creativity is all about exploring different parts of yours. So that could have been brought out more clearly. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Girija. With that, I would like to thank all the participants of this section. And I learned a lot from all of your comical timings. Thank you very much for that. With that, I would like to hand the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sita.
Krish, before you hand over, you need to invite our timer for the table topic timings, please.
Sorry, my bad.
I posted the timing report in the chat. Let's move forward with the paucity of time. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was an amazing sort of very, very creative way in which you had called out those themes, and a picture represents more than 1,000 words. That's what we all know. And we also saw some of our creative participants in the table topic sessions trying to really look at and extract and speak in those 2.5 minutes. Brilliant stuff. Thank you so much, table topic master Krish and the participants. Back to the theme. We looked at how ha 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 as a laughter was connected to humans, and later on dwelled into some of the comic characters. We did touch upon a little bit of real life characters, taking it a little bit further from all of that into our very own Bollywood and the Western faced Hollywood. A lot of these famous artists in both Bollywood and Hollywood. We did hear about Mahmood, that was spoken by Toastmaster Sepna. The very famous Jim Carrey and his characterization of that mask character in that movie Mask again. That's something commendable. We also have our very own Johnny Lever, Satish Shah, Arshad Varsi, Boman Irani, again for that mixed smile and anger-faced laughter that he gives in Munabha MBBS. And when I speak of Mahmood, I still remember the dialogue that he provides in a Hindi movie, converted to English. It actually means, if you drink whiskey and soda will go in and your life will come out. This was a real, genuine ha ha ha. So that was the sort of artist that we have had. Not to forget Paresh Rawal, Rajpal, I think so. Anyone in the meeting, in our participants, who would like to share any of the names that you could think of on Bollywood and Hollywood, apart from the Charlie Chaplins of the world, anybody that you could think of?
Yes. Have we talked about Mr. Bean?
We did.
Can I didn't hear. Can I talk?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So, Sridevi, I really love her comic timing. In Chalbaz, Rajnikant comes over and then he offers a drink and she says, "Main Madura nahi peeti hu ji." It's a very shy remark, but then it really makes the whole theater goes gaga. Then there is Rohini Hattagidi who's applying makeup and so proud that it is all very imported makeup. And then she goes to her and she says, you have expressed your thoughts very well. So now let me express it. She suddenly misses a knife from there and then she takes it to her face and the fear that comes on Rohini's. Wow, it is amazing. So I feel nobody can beat her in comic timings when it comes to ladies in Bollywood.
Absolutely, Toastmaster Girija. Thanks for sharing these names. I also remember some of the characters in the Marvel series, be it Iron Man, you have Doctor Strange, typical one-liners that they normally give in these various sequence of Avengers movies that we have seen. One character which is different from the regular comic characters that stands out for me is the Joker in Batman. Very, very interesting way of depicting humor and, I would say, anger, frustration, amazingly portrayed by that artist. It's a brilliant way of depicting a mix of characterization, but still having his face like a Joker. Moving on from this list of Bollywood and Hollywood characters and focusing on our next part of our meeting, which is about general evaluation. May I invite our general evaluator, distinguished Toastmaster Arvind Nair, to explain the objectives of evaluation and also to introduce the various evaluators that we have today. And before that, and I know how important, I thought through this question very hard before I really wanted to put Toastmaster Arvind Nair here related to the theme. The question that I had asked him is, if you were in a Coffee with Arvind show hosting Jim Carrey and Kapil Sharma, what two things would you have asked each of them to try out in a different genre of comedy? What are those two things that you would have asked them to try? We know Jim Carrey and Kapil Sharma have a very nice way of doing it, the characterization, the facial expression of Jim Carrey. What is that you would have asked them to do it differently? Toastmaster Arvind Nair.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. The way I understood your question was, I would answer it in this way, that I would ask Jim Carrey to imitate the character Jagu, who is actually I forget his name, one of those famous actors that he imitates. I think Krishna is the person in Kapil Dev who does that role. And I would have asked Jim Carrey to do that character, to imitate that character. And also the other one, the one who masquerades as the female, that was in the earlier part, was Tinu, whatever. I'm sorry, I can't remember the names. And what I would ask Kapil Sharma to do is to enact all that Jim Carrey did in The Mask, because this fellow is such a stony character and he just can't, I don't think he's so supple enough to do that. I would have asked him to enact those characters of Jim Carrey and also to dance as Jim Carrey does in the show, The Mask. Thank you. And as general evaluator, it's my task to evaluate the meeting generally and offer any suggestions for improvement, if any. I will start with the evaluation of the prepared speech. And for that, I would invite the timer to give the timing guidelines for the evaluation.
Each of the coaches will have 1 to 2 minutes with a grace time of 30 seconds on either of the sides.
Thank you, timer. We're already running quite late, and so we need to speed up. May I invite the lead coach to take this up, please?
Thank you so much for that, General Evaluator. I would like to call upon our content coach, Toastmaster Girija, to please give her evaluation.